See, the next topic we are going to discuss is hard water. So basically hard water is D2O. So D stands for deuterium. Now we see the first preparation of hard water. So basically hard water is prepared by exhaustive electrolysis. So basically on exhaustive electrolysis of water, hard water is obtained. Basically heavy water is obtained. Heavy water, which is D2O, is obtained by the exhaustive electrolysis of water. See, what is exhaustive electrolysis? When water is electrolyzed several times, repeatedly, then heavy water is obtained. So basically the heavy water D2O is obtained by the exhaustive electrolysis of water. When water is electrolyzed repeatedly several times, then heavy water is obtained. So normal water, which is H2O, contains H plus ion and OH minus, and heavy water is D2O. See, so basically when we see that D plus ion gains electron and removes in the form of D2S. So basically reduction occurs at cathode. So this reaction takes place at cathode as the gain of electron, and gain of electron means reduction takes place at cathode. So D positive ion by the gain of electron removes in the form of D2. H plus ion gains electron and removes in the form of H2, and this reaction takes place at cathode. As we know that the H plus ion, the molecular mass of H plus ion is low, and also mobility of H plus ion is high. Molecular mass is low and mobility is high. Therefore, in preference, when we compare in D plus and H plus, due to small size and low mass, reduction of H plus is easy in comparison to D plus. So basically H plus ion will get reduced and D plus ion will remain in the solution. So we can also see, due to low molecular mass, due to low mass and size, and mobility of H plus is high. Therefore reduction of H plus will occur. So reduction of H plus will occur and D plus will remain in the solution. In the same way, OH minus ion release O2 gas at the anode, as minus 4 is balanced by 4 electrons, charge is balanced by 4 electrons. So O2 gas is removed, O2 gas is evolved by OH minus ion at the anode terminal. Anode is positive and cathode is negative terminal. So we know that if 29,000 liter H2O2 is electrolyzed, how much? 29,000 liter H2O2 is electrolyzed, then how much D2O is obtained? 1 liter of D2O is obtained. So this is the method for getting D2O, heavy water, by exhaustive electrolysis. When water is electrolyzed several times, then heavy water is obtained. And which ion will reduce? H plus ion will reduce due to small size and low mass, and mobility of H plus ion is high. Hence H plus ion will reduce and D plus will remain in the solution. OH minus get oxidized into O2 at anode. For 29,000 of water electrolysis, we get only 1 liter of D2O. Now see the physical and chemical properties of D2O. So physical and chemical properties of heavy water. So basically almost all physical constants like boiling point, melting point. So almost all physical constants like melting point, boiling point for heavy water is higher than normal water. See, for example, the boiling point for water is 100 degrees Celsius and the boiling point for D2O is 101.4 degrees Celsius. It means boiling point is more and also melting point is more. So therefore almost all physical constants of heavy water are higher than normal water. And also heavy water is colorless, tasteless and mobile liquid. Now see the reactions of water and D2O. What are the reactions of water and D2O? See, basically when sodium oxide reacts with water, it forms base. In the similar way, instead of H, if D2O is used, then instead of H it will be deuterium. So when Na2O reacts with heavy water, in water it is NaOH So H is replaced by deuterium, so it is NaOD. Now when calcium carbide on hydrolysis gives calcium hydroxide and C2H2 acetylene gas. See, hydrogen here, so hydrogen will be replaced by deuterium. So calcium carbide on reaction with D2O gives Ca. Instead of H we will use deuterium, CaOD twice H2, so C2D2. Now see the next reaction. When aluminum nitride, ALN, aluminum nitride on hydrolysis, it gives AlOH thrice plus evolution of ammonia gas. See, here H, so H will be replaced by D, and again H will be replaced by D. So these are the reactions with water and heavy water. See, if electrolysis of water, when there is electrolysis of water, O2 gas is obtained at anode and hydrogen is obtained at cathode by the electrolysis of water. In the same way, if electrolysis of heavy water like H2, D2 is obtained at cathode and O2, here also O2 will obtained at anode. So this is all about the heavy water, the H2O. Now the next topic we are going to study hydrogen peroxide. So next topic we are going to study is hydrogen peroxide. So our next topic is hydrogen peroxide. What is peroxide? We know when there is oxygen-oxygen linkage, then we call it peroxide linkage. OO linkage is called peroxide linkage, and the oxidation state of oxygen in peroxide is -1. So basically, what is peroxide? Any compound. Peroxide is any compound consisting of oxygen-oxygen single bond is peroxide compound. So basically, when we write this peroxide in the molecular form, it will be O2, and on each oxygen atom -1 charge, therefore O2 2 minus. Now we can say in an ionic compound, this bond, which is oxygen-oxygen bond, peroxy linkage, so this bond is observed as an anion with symbol O2 2 negative. So this ion is called peroxide ion. For example, Na2O2. If Na2O2 breaks, then it will be 2Na plus and O2 carrying 2 negative charge. So this is peroxide ion. Like BaO2, Ba2 positive, again O2 will carry 2 negative charge. So this is peroxide ion. So examples are Na2O2, BaO2. See, if in a covalent compound, oxygen-oxygen bond is seen, then again we call peroxy linkage or peroxide group, like in H2H2O8. We know in H2O2 the structure is like this. So in this covalent compound we can see oxygen-oxygen linkage. In H2H2O8, which we call peroxodisulfuric acid, in this compound also oxygen-oxygen linkage is there. So due to this oxygen-oxygen linkage, this is H2H2O8. Due to this oxygen-oxygen linkage, we call this peroxide group is present. So in ionic form it is O2 2 minus, while in covalent compounds there is oxygen-oxygen linkage. And we know that the oxidation state of each oxygen in peroxide group is -1. So the oxidation state of each oxygen atom in peroxide group is -1. See the peroxide ion, O2 2 negative. For two oxygen -2 charge, so one oxygen atom there is -1 charge. So oxidation state of oxygen in peroxide is -1. See in oxide ion is O2 negative. The oxidation number is -2 on oxygen atom. See the superoxide ion, O2 negative means for two atoms -1 charge. So one atom it will be -1/2. So superoxide ion oxidation state of oxygen is -1/2. Now see the structure of H2O2. So basically H2O2 was first discovered by Thenard, the name of scientist, in 1918. And structure of H2O2. So basically the structure of H2O2 is non-planar. It means the structure of H2O2 is non-planar, and also the structure of H2O2 is open book-like structure. And the structure of H2O2 is open book-like structure. And also the dipole moment is non-zero, which is equal to 2.1 for H2O2. We can also see the structure of H2O2 non-planar. There is one non-polar bond between oxygen. This is non-polar, and this is one OH bond which is polar. This is also again which is polar. So this is the structure of S2O2. When we combine in the form of plane, so it is the open book like structure. So this is the open book like structure. This bond is in one plane while this bond in other plane. So two types of bonds are present: oxygen non-polar covalent, oxygen hydrogen polar covalent, and the structure is non-planar, open book like structure, and dipole moment is non-zero. See the structure in gas phase. This is the structure, open book like structure. We can see that the difference between the structure in gas phase and in solid phase. So solid phase exists as temperature of 110. We can see that in gas phase this angle is 11.5, while in solid phase this angle decreases, which we call dihedral angle. So the angle decreases from 11 to 90 degree in when phase changes from gas to solid. And also see this angle HOO angle increases from 94.8 to 11.9. And also see the bond length. So basically this angle, outer angle decreases and inner angle increases. And bond length of oxygen 147, while in solid phase 145. So this bond length decreases, and OH bond 95 to 98. So this OH bond length increases. So this is the structural difference of S2O2 in the gas phase and solid phase. Now we will discuss the preparation of S2O2. See the preparation of S2O2. See the preparation of S2O2. First we will discuss about the laboratory preparation of S2O2. So in laboratory, S2O2 is prepared by sodium peroxide. When S2O2 is prepared by sodium peroxide, the process we also call Merck process. Like sodium peroxide, when added with H2SO4, which is dilute near about 20%, at 273 Kelvin is passed, then it forms Na2 combines with SO4, Na2SO4, and S2 combines with O2. So S2O2. So this is the laboratory preparation for S2O2 when Na2O2 sodium peroxide is passed through H2SO4. Now see the next laboratory preparation. The next preparation is by dilution of dilute H2SO4 on barium peroxide. So barium peroxide is BaO2, exists in the form of hydrated form BaO2.8H2O. When barium peroxide is passed through dilute sulfuric acid, then barium precipitated in the form of barium sulfate, and H2O2 is obtained. So H2 combines with O2 from H2O2, barium with sulfate, barium sulfate, and 8 water of crystallization are removed. So basically anhydrous barium peroxide is not used. Why anhydrous barium peroxide is not used? Because BaSO4 forms a protective coating over BO2. So if BaO2 anhydrous is used, then this BaSO4 which is formed will form a protective coating over BaO2. Hence anhydrous barium peroxide is not used for the preparation of S2O2. See the limitations. Now see the limitations. What are the limitations? Basically, solution of S2O2 contains some heavy Ba2 positive ion. Solution of S2O2 contains some heavy Ba2 positive ion. So basically due to this heavy cation, due to this presence of heavy cation, this can catalyze the decomposition of S2O2. So this is the limitation. In presence of heavy Ba2 positive ion, there occur decomposition of S2O2. So limitations is the solution of S2O2 contain some heavy Ba2 plus ion which catalyze the decomposition of hydrated peroxide. So what are the modification so that the decomposition of S2O2 will not occur? See the modification. So modification is we use phosphoric acid. We use phosphoric acid instead of sulfuric acid. Why phosphoric acid is used instead of sulfuric acid? To avoid the decomposition of S2O2. So basically barium peroxide is added with S3PO4 to avoid the decomposition of H2O2. Now H2O2 will not decompose, so it forms BaPO for thrice twice and H2O2. See the another method for the preparation of H2O2. So the next method for the preparation of H2O2 is when barium peroxide is passed through CO2 in presence of water, it forms BaCO3, barium carbonate will get precipitated and we get H2O2. Now see the commercial method for the preparation of H2O2, manufacturing method. So basically H2O2 is obtained by the electrolysis of sulfuric acid. As we know, when we take H2SO4 50%, H2SO4 break into H plus ion and HSO4 minus ion. As we know, at cathode reduction takes place. So at cathode, this H plus ion will gain electron and evolve in the form of H2 gas at cathode. Now here we are taking 50% H2SO4. So when 50% H2SO4 is taken, then this HSO4 minus at anode will convert into peroxo disulfuric acid, H2S2O8. This is peroxo disulfuric acid because it is formed by combining two sulfuric acids and there is one peroxy linkage, hence peroxo disulfuric acid. When this gains 2 electron, now hydrolysis. When hydrolysis of H2S2O8, then it forms H2O2 with H2SO4. So basically this is the manufacturing method of H2O2 by using electrolysis. H plus ion gains electron in the form of H2 and HSO4 minus in the first it will convert in the form of H2S2O8 by the loss of 2 electron. As we can see, 2 hydrogen, 2 sulfur and 8 oxygen. 2 hydrogen, sulfur to balance the charge, 2 electrons. Loss of electron means oxidation at anode. Now on hydrolysis it gives H2O2. See the modified method for manufacturing of H2O2. The modified method is when ammonium sulfate we use with H2SO4. So 1 H plus ion gained by the NH4, so it forms NH4HSO4. Now NH4HSO4 breaks into NH4SO4 minus and H plus. So basically again at cathode H plus ion gains electron and release at cathode in the form of H2 gas. Now again we have NH4SO4 minus ion. Now again by the loss of electrons, so charge is valence -2, so 2 electrons, 2 nitrogen, 8 hydrogen, 2 sulfur and 8 oxygen. Again the hydrolysis. On hydrolysis it gives H2O2 as a product. So this is the modified method to get H2O2. Now see the preparation of D2O2. So basically D2O2 is prepared by in the same method we use for the preparation of H2O2 we use H2S2O8, which is peroxo disulfuric acid. Instead of hydrogen H2 we use K2 here. So when K2 is used there and instead of water we use here D2O, which is heavy water. So when heavy water reacts with K2S2O8, so it forms D2O2, deuterium peroxide, and the byproduct is KdSO4. See the next method for the preparation of H2O2. The another method for the preparation of H2O2 is basically by the oxidation of 2-ethyl anthraquinol. By the oxidation of 2-ethyl anthraquinol, this product is called 2-ethyl anthraquinol. So on oxidation we get this product as 2. See this, so basically 2-ethyl anthraquinol is this product. This product is 2-ethyl anthraquinol. When we oxidize, so basically oxidize in the presence of air, so it forms 2-ethyl anthraquinol. So 2-ethyl anthraquinol, OH group changes into own group, ketonic, so 2-ethyl anthraquinone, and we get H2O2, hydrogen peroxide, as a product. See another method, reverse reaction can also take place by reduction. So on reduction we get the reverse product. So on changes into all. So one of the another method for the preparation of H2O2 is when 2-ethyl anthraquinol on oxidation with air forms H2O2. So this is the byproduct. Now we will see the storage of H2O2. See, the storage of H2O2. As we know, because H2O2 decompose easily, so we have to store H2O2 so that its decomposition not occurs. So H2O2 basically stored in brown bottles. In brown bottles, H2O2 is stored to avoid the effect of light. To avoid the effect of light, because in presence of light, H2O2 decomposes. To avoid the effect of light, and also we add some quantity, small quantity of acetanilide. So acetanilide basically retard the decomposition of H2O2. Hence, acetanilide is added to H2O2 in brown bottles to avoid the decomposition of H2O2. And also to check decomposition, it is kept in wax coated glass bottles or in Teflon bottles. Now we will discuss our another topic, the strength of H2O2 solution. See, strength of H2O2 solution. So basically the strength of H2O2 solution can be expressed in percentage weight by volume. So above part is basically for solute, above part numerator part for solute and denominator part for solution. And also we can express the strength in terms of volume. See, if we have 25% weight by volume H2O2, so numerator stands for solute and denominator stands for the solution. So it means if 25% weight by volume H2O2 means 25 gram of solute, which is H2O2. So basically 25% means 25% solute, W for solute, which is H2O2, means 25 gram of solute H2O2 is present in volume, means denominator for solution, so present in 100 ml of solution. See, if 20% weight by volume H2O2 means 20 gram of H2O2 solute in 100 ml of solution. Now see the definition by volume. Strength definition by volume. See, by volume means H2O2 on decomposition gives water and O2. So basically the definition of 10 volume. So if 10 volume means, so 10 volume H2O2 means, always remember this definition, 10 volume H2O2 means 1 volume of H2O2, means 10 volume H2O2 means 1 volume of H2O2. Also we can say 1 liter of H2O2. 1 liter of H2O2 on decomposition gives 10 liter of oxygen. So the definition of 10 volume H2O2 is 1 volume of H2O2 produce 10 volume of O2 at STP. Also we may say in terms of volume, liter, 1 liter of H2O2 is producing 10 liter of O2 at STP. So this is the definition of 10 volume H2O2. If there is 20 volume H2O2 means, if 20 volume H2O2 means 20 liter of O2 will produce by 1 liter of H2O2. So what are the definitions? See the definitions. 10 volume means if H2O2 decompose in H2O plus O2, so 10 volume means 1 liter H2O2 will give 10 liter of O2. If 20 volume H2O2 means 1 liter H2O2 on decomposition gives 20 liter O2. See, if 30 volume, so 30 volume means 1 liter H2O2 will give 30 liter O2. If 35 volume means 1 liter H2O2, 1 liter H2O2 gives 35 liter of O2. So this is the definition of volume strength. It will remain always 1 liter. This is the volume of basically oxygen gas liberated. Now see, so basically 10 volume is 1 volume H2O2 produce 10 volume oxygen at SCP. Now see the question based on volume strength. So the question is basically, we have to calculate the strength. We have to calculate the strength in gram per liter. We have to calculate the strength in gram per liter of 10 volume solution of H2O2. So basically we have to calculate the strength of 10 volume H2O2 solution. See, according to reaction we know H2O2 on decomposition produces H2 and O2. So basically The molecular mass of H2O2 is 34, 2 moles 68 grams. So basically it means for 2 moles produces 1 liter. For 1 mole we know 22.4 liter. 68 gram of H2O2 produce 22.4 liter of oxygen at STP. According to definition we know for 10 volume means 10 liter oxygen is produced. 10 volume stands means 10 liter of oxygen is produced. If 20 liter means 20 liter O2 produced. If 30 volume means 30 liter O2 produced. See, so basically 68 gram produces 22.4. So 10 liter means how many grams of H2O2? As we know, according to reaction, 22.4 liter O2 at STP is produced by 68 gram of H2O2. So 1 liter will be produced by 68 divided by 22.4. Now we have 10 volume means 10 liter O2. So 10 liter will produce by how much? 68 by 10. 68 by 22.4 into 10. How this many gram? As we know that this is 680 by 22.4 gram per liter. See, now we have to calculate the strength in gram per liter. So the strength in gram per liter we obtained, which is 30.3 gram per liter. So this is the strength based on calculation. What we have done, 68 gram produces 22.4 liter and 1 liter produces 68 by 22.4, and from 10 volume we have 10 liter, so 10 liter will be 68 by 22.4 into 10. So this is gram per liter we have strength. Now to change into percentage, divide by 10. When we divide by 10, the percentage is 3.03%. See the next question. The next question is, we have to calculate the normality of 20 volume H2O2 solution. We have to calculate the normality of 20 volume H2O2 solution. See, always remember the shortcut. Always remember the shortcut which I am telling you for the calculation. Not do that much calculation, which is a lengthy part. Always remember volume strength is normality into 5.6. Volume strength is normality into 5.6, and also normality we know molarity into n factor. So normality is molarity into n factor, and n factor of H2O2 is equal to 2. So basically when n factor we put 2, we can also change this formula into terms of, so volume strength is normality is molarity into n factor, so n factor is 2, so molarity into 11.2. If normality is given, then volume strength is normality into 5.6, and normality is molarity into n factor. N factor for H2O2 is 2, so volume strength is molarity into 11.2 in terms of molarity. In the given question, what is given? 20 volume. So volume is given, and we know that the volume is given, which is 20 volume. As we know, volume is normality into 5.6. So normality will be volume 20 divided by 5.6. See, the given here is 20. So 20 divided by 5.6. 20 divided by 5.6 will be equal to 3.57. So this is the normality. We can check the answer. We can directly check the answer by using shortcut. So this is the answer. Don't remember this process. This is very long. Always remember only this formula. Volume strength is normality into 5.6. See, if we are looking for molarity, then volume strength is molarity into 11.2. So from this formula we can say molarity of this solution will be volume strength is 20 divided by 11.2. So we can also calculate molarity. Now see the next question. The next question is, again use the shortcut. Now we have molarity of the solution, normality of the solution. Now we are having the normality of the solution, and we have to calculate the volume strength. We know volume strength is normality into 5.6. So it is very easy. Normality is 1.6 multiplied by 5.6. So volume we get 8.96 volume. See, you don't use this long method. Always use the shortcut. So answer is 8.96. So all we have discussed in hydrogen chapter, all topics we have discussed about hydrogen.